Today is a lucky day for us because Luxembourg is taking place. Yeah. Make sure not to refer to it as Little Switzerland, okay? Hello everyone, welcome to Z. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Hey, what do people do when they travel to Luxembourg that is interesting? Your ability to open a bank account is known. And you do. It is quite cool. Okay, is there anything else? For example, you could possibly depart to Luxembourg is a somewhat unique country with a lot of mixed hybrid cultural cues, yet in all seriousness, that have combined to form what it is now. Oh, and it's really tiny. The entire country can be driven across in around 45 minutes. Find its location on the map now, shall we? Know what's amusing? Because we did copy and paste, I feel like we're kind of just fooling around. Another wealthy landlocked microstate that is currently experiencing this is Liechtenstein. First of all, Luxembourg is a landlocked country bordered by France, Germany, and Belgium in Western Europe. The nation is just around 51 miles, 82 kilometers long and 35 miles, 57 kilometers wide. It has a surface area of 2,500 square kilometers, or just under 1,000 square miles. There are 12 cantons in the nation, with Luxembourg City serving as its capital, which serves as one of the 3 EU capitals, in addition to Strasbourg, France, and Brussels, Belgium. Additionally, Luxembourg City hosts the highest court in the EU, is the European Court of Justice. The largest cities and towns among the 12 major ones are listed below. Differdange and Esch-sur-Alzette are in Luxembourg City. The nation has a single main airport. The 5th busiest cargo airport in the country is Luxembourg City International, which is near to the city. Cargolux, China Airlines Cargo, and Qatar Airways Cargo are 3 major shipping airlines served by a transport airport in Europe. Yes, you need to establish a transit hub with favorable international trade prices if you want to generate quick money. You are familiar with Singapore, of which I speak. What else can I say? When it comes to population, the nation has traditionally been divided into 2 primary regions. In the north, the Osling or Isek contains the majority of the taller hills and forests. And the southern, flatter Gutland, where around 85% of the population resides. Prior to the French, Prussian, and Belgian splits in the 19th century, Luxembourg actually used to be a much bigger. 1800s, in fact, they gave their largest southern area approaching Luxembourg the insulting appellation of Region of Luxembourg. Luxembourg, however, is remarkably compact for having such a little amount of territory. Features magnificent historical landmarks, companies, and places. 75 of the more than 100 castles were constructed during the Middle Ages. They were designated the European Capital of Culture twice, after all, and for good reason. The European headquarters of more than 150 major banks as well as other businesses, including Skype, Amazon, Pepsi, JP Morgan, FedEx, and IKEA, are located in Luxembourg. So, indeed, this area is adept at maintaining a brisk pace of business. Speaking of which, a few noteworthy places of interest could be the Catacombs of Luxembourg, the Luxembourg City's Historic Center, the National Museum of Art and History, the casements and tunnels of Box City, namely the Mondorf-les-Bains, Clairvaux Abbey and Castle. Burdorf is great. Merveilleuse Park, smaller castles like Bourchild, Hollandfels, and Beaufort, Luxembourg's Grand Ducal Palace, and La Richest. There is a lot going on in such a little area. In such case, let's move on to the terrain. The Green Heart of Europe is a nickname for Luxembourg. In relation to that, in a way, they do have the most ecological impact on the planet. As previously indicated, the country's northern region or the wider Ardennes Hilly Range includes the Essling Hills. That crosses southern Belgium and into Germany. Neef Top is only 560 meters tall, making it the smallest peak. Bergplatz, which is frequently mistaken for the highest point, is only 1 meter taller. though it isn't. 30% of the country is covered in forests, and in the eastern malleethal woodland, respectively. From here, the Shur and other significant rivers. The Upper Shur Lake Reservoir is the greatest body of water, and Wolz and Alzette all join together in the center. The Moselle, on the other hand, is the longest river, running along Germany's eastern border with France. All right, I've cleared up the technical details. Other things to consider include the fact that Luxembourg only receives 61 days of sunshine annually. Acquire some vitamin D supplements. Amateur. Of all the nations in Europe, they consume the most wine per person. PFFFF. Wrong. You are urged to. Liquor from Luxembourg. Fake. Zemburg. They also own the most cars, 650 per every 1,000 residents, making them the most car-dependent population. The gold crest bird is the national animal. Both the lion, because, Africa. In fact, portions of southern Europe and Asia were home to lions in the past. However, because to interactions between people and the environment nowadays, ships are virtually exclusively found. In Africa, thank heavens for Noah. Okay, you're here. Since I've been meaning to take a break from instructing these dreadful classes, I have an adorable subscribe. Please give me a triple shot of espresso. You are aware of how the prompter system functions. The crowd adores you. Bring it back. Dude, you got it. Prior to the 20th century, Luxembourg didn't have a lot going on historically. And it wasn't until significant iron ore resources were discovered in the South Redlands that their industrial output truly took off. The national language, Luxembourgish, a Germanic language related to German, is typically the first language that all citizens learn. But don't refer to it as a German dialect. When you say it, they detest you. Despite the proximity of the two, you see certain differences. For example, for what versus why. Spiegelklinik versus Spiegelkrankenhaus, Kugelschreiber versus Bic, and the list continues on. Websites exist that are devoted to this. However, the general clarity of the grammar and syntax, although it is without a doubt not a dialect. Overall, yes, because English is taught in schools from around age 12, many people may truly be quadrilingual. However, if you ask for it, all government and media are often published in French, German, or Luxembourgish. Also today, due to the fact that Portuguese speakers make up around 5% of the population, Portuguese is also spoken widely. Additionally, Luxembourg is a constitutional hereditary monarchy, with the world's final Grand Duchy. A Grand Duchy is what? Keith, elucidate. It resembles a matter pertaining to monarchy and a duke. Think, everyone was like, it was under the Holy Roman Empire stuff. Whoa. Instead, let's simply create a large nation, but Luxembourg was like, no way. I'm staying the way I am. Keith, you actually did a really good job of condensing the information. It's like, whatever man, dude. You realize? Obviously. Keith's here. Oh my gosh, Keith. Henri Grand Duke of Luxembourg has essentially been in power since that year. He has 5 children with Maria Teresa Mestre y Batista, a woman of Cuban descent. As a constitutional monarch, his legislative responsibilities are constrained. He is able to dismiss the Chamber of Deputies and appoint the Prime Minister as ambassadors. He is in charge of the around 800-strong army, which is rather modest. He serves in diplomatic affairs as a representative as well. He also resides in Berg Castle with his family. Currently, despite the years-long infusion of money, though, at almost 3.5 million per person, they do have the highest external debt. 3.5 times 600,000 for the well-liked. Whoa. Yeah. Technically speaking, though, if your country's deficit percentage is greater than that, you are clearly in the clear. Ah, okay, they are still good, so that makes sense. Okay, cool, I agree. That's why they were like, hey, after all those Lux leaks, let's invest in space mining to increase our portfolio, imitating the US. These shows are starting to resemble consumer economics lectures, I swear. Luxembourgers are particularly distinctive culturally in that they essentially have to merge two worlds, that of the French and German sides, while preserving their own. Of course, France and Germany have a close relationship, and they do the majority of their commerce and trade with Luxembourg. People cross the border and can communicate perfectly well. Every day to go to work or shop in the country, plus gas and alcohol are usually cheaper. Portugal and Cape Verde, which together comprise the largest minority population in Luxembourg, have a close friendship. To be accommodating, radio stations would occasionally transmit and play Portuguese music. Of course, the Netherlands enjoys successful commerce and business as a member of the Benelux. They enjoy dropping by to visit with their pals from the south. The majority of Luxembourgers I spoke with, though, believed that Belgium was their closest ally. They pegged their previous currencies before the euro was adopted. Even better, the Luxembourg military frequently trains in Belgium. Grand Duke Henry's mother was Belgian, too. It makes him related to King Philippe, the reigning monarch of Belgium. Finally, it should come as no surprise that Luxembourg was chosen to host one of Europe's capitals. It stands alone as a crucible for pan-Europeanism, with a population that takes pleasure in being adaptable. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.